Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. I think you're really going to be glad you tuned in for this topic. But before we do that, let's open with a centering prayer. I invite you to just set aside anything that might be on your mind, in your heart. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. Take a breath and turn within. Father, Mother, God, thank you for this opportunity to be together in service to the church, one another, and all who are drawn to our videos. Let us offer exactly what you would have us give. Thank you, God. Amen. So today I am thrilled to be with our panel. We have Karen Downy and Susan Jarboe and Kathy Cronin. And Karen, our newest member, has our topic for today. So over to you, Karen.
Thanks, Linda, and hi to everybody. My topic today is, I'm going to hold up the deck right here. Can you see that okay? I have found, whoops, I forgot to turn off my phone. So guess what? There it went. I think I've used these for 2 years now. And the first few weeks that I started using them, there must have been a message that had to get across to me because I kept drawing the same cards. And it's like, okay, God, pay attention. So I would love to introduce the reading today, which is a higher view. But first of all, the sections of these cards actually go through our chakras, which start with the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart, the spiritual center, and then our thoughts. So today, this particular one is on light. And light is our intuition, our vision, our imagination, our persistence, our knowing, our perception, and mental states. And each thought for the day has a card that goes with it. And that is the owl riding high. So I love this one. And it's a higher view. And the key concepts are seeing from a higher perception, conscious neutrality, letting go of judgment and assumptions, non-attachment. And the last one is the ability to remain unbiased. Sometimes our lives are like suctions cupped to the ends of our noses, and we can't see beyond ourselves. This happens to everyone once in a while. We fall into an automatic response to life and react from a learned, conditioned place rather than one of awareness. Being in reactivity keeps us repeating old patterns. Conversely, the avoidance of our triggers could lead us into our comfort zone, lead us out of our comfort zone in our attempt to not try new things. The way to be successful in your endeavor to connect with others is to step out of your sticky perception of the world Imagine yourself sitting on the back of a bird, 1,000 feet above your life. Wouldn't your perspective change? From a higher point of view, you can see for miles. You could let go of naming or blaming the obstacles in your way and instead easily discover a path to more beautiful and compelling vistas. More can become available to you in all aspects of your life when you are able to step back and get a little distance. You can wait before responding. Be more graceful in your interactions and see how everything is connected and every experience is a gift. The world is wide open for you today. All you have to do is to move to a higher ground. Be mindful and celebrate the spectacle of life's dance. And I kind of love that thought because it really speaks to me about how easy it is to just stay stuck in comfort, whether it's going and eating at the same place, whether it's watching the same whatever, and not stepping out and doing something different. And I'm trying for myself to do that, stepping up and taking a minute before I judge something. Especially nowadays, there's so much things to go on that one could get into judgment over. And I'm right, you're wrong, this is my whatever. And then being able to step out of that and listen to everything and tune in to what applies to my heart. And that unbiased, I love that, the ability to remain unbiased. And letting go of everything I thought I knew for a new experience or a new perception. And it seems like we're really getting the opportunity right now to let go. And if I don't let go, I don't learn anything. And I was thinking of that this weekend when I did get to go out dancing. And it's like there would have been a time I would never do anything like that by myself. I love dance by myself, whether in a group, but it is so freeing. And it reminded me how much I love to dance and the expression of just being with the music. And when I'm with the music, I'm in my heart and I'm there. None of this stuff is going on. So that's what the higher view is kind of saying to me today. So I wonder if anybody else has any thoughts on that.
Well, I do. I absolutely loved the reading and your comments, Karen. So thank you for that. When you were first reading about breaking free of patterns and looking at it from a new perspective, I was reminded of a wonderful family that I worked with in El Cajon, California, at the Unity Church there. I was doing a workshop, and one of the gals in the workshop shared with the group, and I don't think I'm telling her story by sharing this, that her family had implemented a do-over policy. There were some anger issues coming up. I think the kids were kind of reaching the teens, and tempers would get really short, and somebody would do something and somebody else would react and they'd walk away feeling bad, so that anybody at any time could call for a do-over, and they'd come back and go through that same situation, only they would do it in a way that they could be proud of, and walk away feeling heard and understood, and a part of a loving family. I love that so much. And I have found, the woman who shared this actually had a whole family policy in place. This, this is our right and our ability. If you aren't proud of something, come back and do it over and we'll just forget the first part. But I've been in situations where I have reacted instead of acted, and then turned around and said, I'd like to do that over, even though there's no policy in place, right? I could be in a workplace, I could be at a gas station, and just turning around and saying, I'm sorry, I really would like to do that over. Everybody seems to appreciate that so much. And nobody has said, get out of here, you crazy old woman. They've all, what? Okay. And it's been so well received. I absolutely loved that. And then, Karen, when you were sharing, which was just beautiful, thank you, and talking about um, breaking out of patterns and looking at it with a different eye, letting go of judgments and bias. And I absolutely love that. When I'm in a situation, and I can't think of it one, but so many times, I always try and look for the highest and best solution words for everyone there, including me, not just the person that I'm talking to, but also me. Because if it's going to be the best for everyone, I'm a part of that. And that's kind of new behavior for me. I have had to, or gotten to, been blessed to work through a real people pleasing personality disorder, and it still shows up, and um, to really be the best for everyone, I need to remember to include me. And that's a new perspective for me, a higher view. Thank you for the topic. Really enjoyed it. I will let the rest of the panel share.
I also liked this reading, and one you used a word that I thought was perfect. And when you said, well, we have this view, we can see the spectacle. And that's really what I think humanity is presenting to the universe, a spectacle. And uh, that can imply good things or bad things. But for me, thinking of it that way helps me detach. And for me, the central issue has always been, how can I care for this person or feel empathy without taking on what they're feeling? Yeah, and to me, I've had that dilemma all my life. And I think nowadays, uh, I'm getting better at that. Through my study of communication, I'm learning different ways to respond when people are having a problem or a difficulty. And that also helps me detach. Another thing, and this is kind of humorous, that I couldn't help thinking when you're talking about the higher view and what we can see, I immediately thought of drones. And there are some stories online. I don't know if you've run across any of them, but there's one article that's called Pictures That Drones Took That Nobody Was Meant to See. And they're interesting pictures. I like looking at photographs of all kinds. And so I began to think, with this higher perspective, maybe we can see things that we wouldn't see from a lower perspective, if you want to say that. That we can get a perspective on what is going on and that we might not have otherwise. So I think that can be one of the benefits of taking a higher view. We can say, okay, I'm going to go into drone mode now and see what I can discover. The third concept I wanted to talk about was judgment. And as we all know, it's not a good practice to engage in. And it can be very freeing when you let go of the idea of judgment, that I have to judge this. Because what you're doing is, when you're judging, you're making a decision in your head about something. And making any kind of decision about anything is stressful. So when you don't judge, you're letting go of something stressful. And most people don't know that. Judging is just something you automatically do, right? And one of the things that's really helped me with judgment over the years is that because I'm a teacher, professionally, I have to make judgments all the time. You know, I'm evaluating student work. I'm saying, okay, this is an A presentation, this is a D presentation. And so for me, when getting out of the classroom, letting go of judgment is a relief, because I have to do so much of it all the time. And that's, I think, one of the disadvantages to being a teacher. I have to engage in that kind of behavior. It's like, I like evaluating student work in the sense of saying, you did this really well, here's where you can improve. What I hate is putting the letter grade on it. And so I continue to wrestle with judgment a little bit. It will never be totally comfortable to me, but it is part of my job in some cases. And that's it. Thank you for the reading.
Well, thank you, Susan, for sharing. And Karen, I appreciate you bringing your deck. I have some Oracle cards, and I often use them to pull a card out when I'm going through times in my life when I'm trying to undecide or something, and I just let universe give me the message. And they're such a great tool to help connect with that spiritual higher self. So thank you for sharing that. And I love today's reading about seeing it from the higher self. And the biggest part that I got on that is being unbiased. Is there's a difference between judgment and unbiased. And for me, the unbiased really hit home, because I see with being unbiased, the ability to see all sides, to see the whole picture and get a 360-degree view rather than my personal point of view. And I thought that, you know, rising above, like the example of the drone or the eagle soaring above the situation and seeing all that makes the whole. It just really resonated with me, because right now there's so much that's going on, and I'm involved with this, and it's just consuming me, that I've become so passionate with it. And I'm like, okay, I need to step above this and see the whole picture and see what's working with all the sides of the coins. And so I love the word unbiased. It's just remind myself at points in times when I'm caught up in something that I've become so passionate with. It's like, okay, let me be unbiased. Let me look at every side, every angle, see where everything comes from, and then just recognizing that it all works together in its own little dance. And I love your example of going out and dancing and, that freedom that you get because it gets you out of your head and into doing something physical. And, it's sort of is like, I just really like the thought of going to that higher level, even if it just means, walking up a hilltop or taking, something where you can go out and look out and see a different perspective. And doing that in your meditation is, sometimes in my meditation, it's just lifting myself up into that higher consciousness of seeing the whole picture, seeing both sides, seeing what's, going on. And then coming to the fact of once you can see that, putting the trust out there that, that which is for the highest good comes to it. And, my judgment may be different and I may be judging this because judgments are based on my life experience, not someone else's. So, and I understand Susan and yours is like grading. The grading system is like your judgments on this is, these are the standards that are expected of a student. And I have to, grade them on those performances of those standards. So, sometimes there are our judgments come into play. And I recognize that. And so sometimes when I'm listening to this today has just made me really step back, step out of, how do I say, the doo-doo I'm on right now. And just sort of rise above it and see the whole picture of what's working, that altogether something is coming from this. And it, in the end, the outcome will be for the best of everyone. And so I have to be unbiased in this and trust for that. So I appreciate you sharing that. And, I look forward to you bringing more of these cards to share with the group because they are so helpful in helping us just recognizing a different perspective and different, it's a way to me, the universe gives us a tool to, help grow. So I appreciate that. Does anybody else have any more they want to add to this conversation today?
Yes, I do. I just want to add thank you for your comments, each and every one of you, because we can be a part of each other's and whoever might be watching taking a different view. And I know for myself, oh God, I would hate to have to grade. I mean, I'm in a real quandary over this right, wrong, up, down, separation. It's like, so I've allowed myself to listen to other things that I would never have listened to a year ago or so. In fact, persons that I kind of thought were repulsive and been able to change my thinking and learn something that I wouldn't have learned by doing so. And that unbiased thing. So thank you very much for your shares. You really helped me.
Well, thank you. I want to thank the panel, Susan and Karen and Reverend Linda, and invite others who want to join us. You're more than welcome to let us know. You could contact the church that will give Linda your information and she can add you into the Zoom link. If you have a topic you want us to bring up or discuss, please share it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. We want to have you be able to notify you whenever we're posting something. And as a subscriber, you're kept alerted to whatever is going on with that. We always take any comments that are given, whether you call it into the church or talk to someone, or you just make them on the post with this. we look at those and it gives us great feedback and directions that we want to bring this discussion group to. So, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us and listening to this and, tapping in. And please share this with other people. If you think this is a topic that can help somebody else, let them know about this and let them know about this website that they can be able to maybe get touched. Their soul might get a little touched a little. So with that, I want to say thank you and I appreciate everyone and join us again in the future. Bye.
Thank you for joining us and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.